Hi, it's Sandy Parker, and welcome to Crafting for Almost Everyone. Today we're going to work on our cards for cubs, and I hope you'll stay tuned. If you're not familiar with cards for cubs, at the end of March, they like to have all the cards in that they will give to foster kids. They can be either encouraging or birthday. You're not going to put any writing in the inside. All you're going to do is make the cards and send them to Cards for Cubs. And you need to register with them. At this point, you'd want to register and tell them how many cards you're going to get. And you have to give them in increments of 10s, and you'd give like 10 birthday or 10 encouragement. And this year I'm only doing encouragement because I don't have the willpower to do more than 20. Maybe I will, but I doubt it. Below the video, I will give you the link to Cards for Cubs, and hopefully some of you will participate as well. I know at least 2 of you are participating, and I hope you'll send me photos of your cards when you're done. I like to do mine in, I'll call it like an assembly line fashion. These are all of the girls that I have. These are my sticky double-sided foam, some washi tapes, and some sentiments. And then these are the cards. They're pre-made cards that I never liked. I got them at Michael's, ended up hating them, and I'm trying to get rid of them. At this point, I think I have 9 cards for cubs left. What I do is, these are 5.5 by 4.25 in dimension. And what I do is I cut a piece of designer paper that's 5.25 by 4 inches, and then I glue all of them to the fronts. So all of these are card bases with their fronts glued on them. Then, here's another design. And then when I'm done, I wait for them to be dried, and then I start attaching everything else to them. I want to show you something else before I go any further, and that is I used to buy a lot of stamps every year from Unity Stamps. And then what I did, when I was bored, I would stamp the images and then I would color them. You need to do this on white cardstock. Then what you do, and I stamped, these were the sentiments that came with the stamps from Unity Stamps, and I think mine are all from the Angie's Girls collection. Anyway, you can see I tried to make sure I had some ethnicity in here, and then I stamped all of the sentiments, and then I would cut these out. So then last year I had so many of the girls left over that I have enough for this year, and that makes me really happy because I didn't have to cut anything out. That's a real time saver when you don't have to do that. So let me show you what I'm doing with the girls. I take at least a piece of this foam tape. This I got at Amazon. It's you get a whole bunch of it in sheets, but for me, I thought it was a good width. It's very narrow, but it's a good width for when you're doing shaker cards or things like this, especially when you're going to put it against the sentiment. You want to have, when you're gluing down anything, especially if you're sending it in the mail, you want these to be, you can't just have foam on the outside edges, because if you do, and let's say it's a little bit wider than this, it will buckle when you mail it. So the person will get it, and their girl will be, there'll be a big divot in the middle of her, because the USPS will put it through their machine, and their machine will make it flatter. When it goes through the mail, if you only put foam on the outer edges, the middle of it, when it's pressed, let me show you what it'll do. It will go in that center there, and it'll look like this when it gets through the mail. You don't want that. It's not a good look. But maybe you do want that. I like to put enough of the foam squares on it, or foam tape on it, that it won't, it can't buckle. And then I have a lot of sentiments, and I think I want to take a marker and color around the edge. So now I'm going to use, this is a Jane Davenport marker. I don't know if they even make them anymore. I'm just going to go around the outside edge with it. I want to have a little bit of a border there. When you're taking your marker and going around the edges like this, you want to do it so that your marker is facing up toward the printed area, because then if you slip off, it won't make a big mark on this side. It'll make a mark on the bottom. At least that's how it works for me. So I'm put this piece through the middle, so it should keep the whole thing upright in the mail. Then I bought some little sentiments. I think I told you guys this in a Temu haul. I bought these little sentiments, and they're really nice. They say things like, reminder, keep going, keep growing. Reminder, storms don't last forever. Reminder, you've survived 100% of your bad days. I really like that, you've survived 100% of your bad days. And what I did with these is I took washi tape and I ran it in the inside of the card. Make sure it's straight. It wasn't. And then I'm going to cut the bottom off. You probably won't be able to see that because it's off camera. And then this has a little purple top. I didn't know if you noticed that. And then I'm just going to attach that right inside like that. And there we have it. Done. Well, I'm sorry I kind of disconnected you and didn't turn you back on until I was finished, but I figured once you'd seen one, you've pretty much seen them all. So I figured that you would be fine with going to the very end and looking at them at this point when they're finished. Okay, I think you've seen these two, or maybe those are the last two I made. And then this one. And this one. And this one. And that one. That one. Here's one I did with Barbie stickers. I really like this thing. Be proud of yourself for how hard you are trying. I think that's a really good sentiment. And then I try to do one that might work for a man, or a couple that might work for a man. There's this one. And that one. I don't know. They might hate them. I don't know. Then there's this one. More Barbies. And then the rainbow one. That one. This one. That one. And finally, this one. So I hope you enjoyed this and you give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Please tell your friends about me on social media because you know I love that. And thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.